It's Movie Day. I'm Ray Love Jr.
And I'm Tre'vell Anderson.
And we are Seated, the blackest show about movies.
Yes, we are. On this week's episode, we are getting into Nia DaCosta's Hedda.
Yes.
Okay, which, I'm looking forward to this discussion.
I am too, baby.
Yes.
But first, let's get into a couple of our fresh out, which is our quick reactions to movies that we want to just share with the people.
Yes. So you saw, what's her name? Kelly Reichardt? Yes. The Mastermind.
Mm-hmm. So it's, Kelly Reichardt. Are you familiar with her work at all?
No, I can't tell you nothing about that, beloved.
She's used to doing like really slow tempo films that usually center around very specific character studies, I would say.
Oh, yes.
They're really interesting,
First
complex
Cow.
characters.
I remember First Cow.
Mm-hmm.
I saw First Cow.
So the Mastermind is very much so along those lines, but it's a mix of like a heist movie and a road movie. It's an interesting genre,
and it's a period piece.
Oh, damn. What year is it? It's like the 70s, maybe like during wartime. Which war was it though? Anyway.
No, it is, set in 1970, it says. Yes.
And it stars Joss O'Connor, who I came to really love in Challengers. Really great actor, really delivered on the performance, but the movie for me it was a wash. Like there are people who love it. Like there's been getting a lot of like rave reviews, but I wasn't into it, and I also was at a screening where she talked about the movie or was asked, the interviewer was interrogating kind of like what she wanted to say with this movie, and she couldn't form coherent ideas around what the point of this movie was, and that's very much so what I felt like at the end of the movie, at the credit roll. I was like, okay, so what was the point of this film?
Do you think it is? Do you think her inability to like articulate that messaging is because the movie itself is as, not specific or not clear? Or is it just a byproduct of it being like early in the awards season, haven't yet,
She also, I don't know, she doesn't give me the type of the director who's like even trying to really go for awards recognition. Like during the talkback, someone was, like they do, trying to record the conversation with the camera. Right. And she stopped the conversation, was like, let's not record. I don't want, anything I say to get out. So she's not even looking for that type of conversation.
Okay.
But I mean, I got the movie. Like, it was a movie about a white man who essentially was raised in a privileged life and thought that he could pull off a art heist, but he just lacked the range to do it and just didn't. It wasn't a well thought out heist, and we see kind of the consequence of his actions play out. He was a crap dad and inefficient husband. It just was like, okay, why am I watching this?
Okay, so the people should skip The Mastermind.
I guess so. I would skip. I wouldn't see this again, and I wouldn't take anybody else to go see it either. So yeah.
Now this is one of those movies that is on. I think it's being distributed by Mubi.
Yeah,
which is a platform.
Yeah, they've been distributing quite a bit. They
have. So okay, shout out to I guess the Mastermind and Kelly Reichardt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one that I wanted to bring to discussion, you actually brought it up, I think a couple episodes ago. That's the Baltimorons.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it.
I was able to finally get a chance to see it, and it's a nice movie. It's a quaint movie.
Christmas.
It is a Christmas movie.
Family-ish.
It does have it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah.
I do always find it interesting when movies are set in cities that I know to be black and we don't see or contend or there's no, we don't see that side of the tracks.
They're always,
and I know that also the reality is some white people go often not even recognizing that they ain't seen a person of color in a little minute. So but that was something that was like,
Yeah, I mean, they always have their pockets, and somehow these movies always tend to center on those specific pockets of whiteness in cities with big black populations.
But I thought it was a fine movie. The lead actor, oh my God, I forgot his name. He's in, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he in Michael Strassner, who's actually not who I thought. I was like, I was like, I don't know what you're going. I thought he was the guy in The Bear, one of the
oh, I know who you're talking about.
The dopey actors in the background. One of the cousins in The Bear.
That ain't him.
But it is that not same type.
Yeah,
but it is that type. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The Baltimorons. It's quaint. It is a Christmas movie. Cute. Fine. If it comes up on your streaming possibilities, go for it.
I love when my mission is successful, specifically on Tre'vell, who does not see a lot of movies, and I was able to instigate them seeing this Baltimorons, which I'm sure they wouldn't have cared about otherwise.
Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's working.
You're
people.
not wrong. We got some other motivations as well, but you in the mix. We give you a little something.
That was good though. Those were some good bites. So
Yes. Okay, so that was fresh out. Our little bite-sized, reviews. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to dive into Hedda.
Hedda first.
Okay. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of the things.
You didn't catch the joke, Hedda first?
Yes, I heard you. I just kept on going.
Grab a snack and come on back.
Amen.
The new film Hedda, an adaptation of the classic stage play by Henrik Ibsen, is the latest from the brilliant mind of writer-director Nia DaCosta. Starring the one and only Tessa Thompson, this is not your grandma's attic dusty Ibsen. This is high stakes, high glamour, and frankly messy as hell. We're talking chaos, we're talking high-key drama, it's giving everything it needs to give. DaCosta drops us into 1950s England, where Tessa Thompson's Hedda is the general's daughter who just said I do to George Testman, a real square trying to make it in the stuffy world of academia. And what's the first thing Hedda does? She strong-arms him into buying a sprawling estate they absolutely cannot afford. A choice. The genius move DaCosta makes here is ditching the original quiet drawing room set and setting almost the entire story during one wild, disastrous, lavish dinner party. The guest list is a whole mood in itself. You've got George's very buttoned-up tweed-wearing colleagues bumping shoulders with Hedda's whole queer bohemian crew. It's a clash of cultures, a collision of vibes, and you know what that means? Drama. This week, we're seated to unpack Hedda. Finally, we get to talk about Hedda. I'm so excited about this one.
Yes, you are.
Let's first start with the mastermind herself, Miss Nia DaCosta.
Oh, now she's a mastermind.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, now she's a mastermind.
So,
ooh, y'all get on my nerves.
Have you followed her work up to this point?
I'm familiar with her work. Yes.
Yeah.
Little Woods probably was, I think, maybe her first movie that I also
Sundance
saw.
Labs movie.
About a decade ago, right? Or 2018, not a decade. I'm looking at it. So had seen that with Tessa Thompson, who they reprised that relationship here in Hedda. The Marvels have seen. It was a TV series, wasn't it? Or was it a movie?
Girl, no.
You didn't see it?
The Marvels was...
it was a movie, right?
It was a movie. Yes.
Why did I think it was on the Disney Plus?
Because there was actually a series that I think launched before this film that centers the Indian character.
Yeah,
it was called Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay.
And so
that's
kind
what
of
it
parlayed us into the theatrical film.
Well, but
I
I've seen this too because I remember Tiana Paris.
Yeah.
That's my girl. Shout out to her in the Marvels, and then obviously Candyman.
Say it 3 times.
And so and it was Little Woods, then Candyman, then the Marvels in terms of like that kind of growth.
Yeah.
And so, I would say one of the few Black women at this point who has rather consistently been doing studio movies and blockbuster. The Marvels is a blockbuster. Right?
Yeah.
Like even Candyman was positioned as a major studio, situation.
I mean, I'm someone who I've always believed in Nia DaCosta. Like, she's not, I know you were like, now you think she's a mastermind. I always was team DaCosta over here. But I know, some of the other general consensus may not have been as favorable, but I love sis.
Okay, good.
She's been like history making. I know some people hate this, but like she was the first Black woman to direct a Marvel film. So like that's notable. She was also the first Black woman to have a #1 movie at the box office.
Right. Well, but let me ask, what of her previous projects do you like?
I mean, I love Candyman.
You love
I really
Candyman.
enjoyed the Marvels. Like I didn't think
you
it deserved.
loved Candyman?
Yes. I was into it. Like I think I'm an easier sell on the thrillers, and like I think because it's a beloved classic. Like I was like,
sure,
what you did with it, I was into.
Okay,
the
fair.
Cabrini Green projects,
fair.
Cabrini Green,
Lord, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I get tongue tied, but
yeah,
I've been into her work.
Okay, I love that then.
But
okay,
this for me was when I was really excited about seeing that she was coming back to telling this type of story with someone who she's had a marriage with, Tessa Thompson on screen, and I'm just like. Yeah, I'm into it. So yeah.
Okay, cute. Okay, so then let's talk about your film going experience.
Yeah, so this was a bit special. I've been going to quite a few screenings lately.
Well,
and
we do live here in this godforsaken city.
Yes, but I got to see this one at a screening at the WGA, the Writers Guild Theater over in Beverly Hills. My friend Morgan Grain, who is a wonderful screenwriter, up and coming. Check her out. Like she's doing her thing in the TV space right now. She invited me to come along with her to the WGA to check this movie out that had a post-screening talkback with Nia DaCosta and Lord Janiska Bravo.
Janiska Bravo.
Yes, and it was such a great conversation. And so, yeah, being able to see this movie.
Janiska directed
Zola, yes, which I really love Zola.
Yeah.
It was one of the gems that came out of the Twitter era, but yes, it was a really great screening experience. It does not have like a wide theatrical release, and so we had like one screen in the entire LA to see this, but being able to see it in a space with other writers and folks who are in the industry have like such positive reactions throughout scenes was great. What about you? How did you see this one?
Okay, so I've seen this movie twice now.
Okay,
I was able to see it months and months ago, through the studio, and the first time I saw it, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. Not to dive into my feelings, but just saying I had to watch it a second time. And maybe that's because the first time I saw it, I was in a theater, a small screening theater on the lot by myself.
Yeah.
No one else was in there, and so I came with whatever I came with.
Very insular.
Yeah, but I didn't. And then our fellow Black critic Brooke Obie messaged me, and she had a +1 to a screening at some rich people house in the Hollywood Hills, which also had a talk back with Nia.
Okay.
And Nia and the white woman.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah, but the main white woman.
Oh, in the film.
In the film.
Got you.
Nia, the white woman. Was Tessa there too? I can't recall if Tessa was there. I can't remember. I could look in my phone and look at the photos.
The star of the film was in the house.
I don't think she was. I don't think she was, but she might have been. She probably was there. Now that I think about it, Brooke is gonna eat me up.
Nina Hoss is that actress's name.
Nina Hoss.
She plays Eileen.
Yes. Yeah. And so the second time I saw it, it was like I said, it was at this rich facility, this house with a screening room. Me and Brooke were one of 5 Black people or so there, including, did you ever see Hard Truths?
Yes.
With Marianne Baptiste?
Yes.
Marianne Baptiste was there.
Nice.
Marianne Baptiste was there, okay?
She held it down in that movie.
She sure did.
Yeah.
She sure did. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes, Tessa was here. I had to get the photo.
Why don't you pulling up the picture? Send me that.
I had to get the photo.
We're going to drop it in for the people to see.
I will. Okay, so it was Nia, it was Tessa, it was the Hoss lady you just mentioned.
Nina.
And Nina Hoss. And then I think this was like the editor or the production designer or something like that. We're going to put it, it's there somewhere. Yeah. And it changed my view of the movie.
Nice.
Seeing again, I warmed up to it more.
It helps having people
still not where you are, and we're gonna get into that. But it did. It's growing on me, and I think this is a movie that for those who it doesn't connect at first, if you watch it again and again, like I feel like if I will see this 2 or 3 more times over this season, and I think I will fall in love with it in the ways that you all do, because it's interesting. Okay, so let's dive into it. Let's dive into it.
For me, it was different. Like we had a post-screening conversation too, but like I was already sold on the film, and I was really eager just to hear more about like Nia's approach to it. And
do you feel like you got some good stuff?
Janiska, like I mean, if directing and filmmaking isn't working out, she can have a good career in interviewing. Like, she really asked the questions that I was thinking coming out of that film. And I have a little bit of footage I may drop into the back of this episode if y'all want to check out. But it was a good conversation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Yes.
General thoughts, feelings, top line notes.
You
really enjoyed it. We know.
I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And the first thing that really stood out, which is the most present thing, is the setting. Like where we are in where this happens. It's a one setting film. We see, I think the first frame we see is Hedda, the character, coming out of water with no context. We don't know what's happening there.
Yes.
And then we see her walk up to this beautiful house in what looks like the British countryside or something.
Like the Yorkshires or whatever they would call those kinds of estates. The Traders. If you watch The Traders, it could be filmed here.
Oh, okay, cute. I have no reference for that,
Yeah.
but yes, as we come to the house, like we're seeing this black woman like commanding the space and telling people where to put things and what she likes, what she doesn't like, getting agitated in a way that like a queen should be able to do in her castle, and she has like a staff clearly preparing for a party that's happening that evening.
Yeah,
and so like I loved walking through that space and not immediately being able to tell what period of time we were in. I was like, what is the setting? Like I couldn't figure out when we were where we were. And like I loved playing with that because it was a movie that, although it was clearly set, I mean, eventually you find out it's set in like the early 1950s. It feels modern in a way where it's like, oh, we're just following this woman who's a black woman living this what appears to be lavish life. And I loved just like being in that space. What about you? What's one thing that came out to you?
Yeah, I'll double tap on the setting as a positive, as a top note. The cinematography in relation to the setting is perfect. It's lush when it needs to be.
Yes.
It's banal when it needs to be, particularly a lot of those outside scenes with the sky. In my talk back, Nia mentioned how the house where they filmed at, somebody lives there.
Oh, wow.
It was if I believe they were filming during one or two, both of the strikes.
She didn't mention that.
And so the people allowed them to like leave it set up for like 9 months or whatever, so that they could, come back and get started. But all of that, I feel like it is a great character, in here, and then to see the ways that the narrative moves throughout what is ultimately one space, but it doesn't feel like one space.
Yeah, it was so good. And like sticking to the setting of place, I also appreciated the setting of time, because I feel like the choice which Nia shared in her talk back with us to set it in the early 1950s, she said it was intentional because it was like the last period of time that was relative to what our current state is, where we were dealing with things like gender norms and race and sexuality in that period of time, and like being able to pull on those themes as a period piece was really interesting to me. And contrasting those things based on like a lot of the things we're challenged with today, like women basically wanting to have autonomy over their body and their choices and things. It's like very much like a 1950s conversation where women were forced to be like the housewives and all of that. And I was just like, this is interesting context to tug with setting it in the 50s.
And I know that this is an adaptation of a play by some Norwegian, Henrik Ibsen.
Yes, yeah.
And the play, I believe it's set in 1891. So it is moving it from that period to a modern, for that sensibility, period. But that is an interesting choice or decision she makes in terms of the story that you highlight there.
Something else too that she revealed in the talk back that I was like, wow, yeah, this makes sense. I mean, something that stood out to me was the sound, like the score, and how they used different sounds in scenes. And apparently she had the score before the film, and they were actually able to use it while they were filming, which is, typically you get that after production. It was really interesting to me, like how they have the breaths and all of those sound moments that are
Yeah,
happening.
we're gonna talk about them breaths.
Ooh, okay, so that's gonna be something we save for later.
We're gonna talk about them breaths.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
other highlights.
Yeah.
Well, can we just go straight into the acting?
Yes, because that's one of my highlights.
Let's go there.
So you start with yours. I feel like yours is different than mine.
No. I really enjoyed Tessa Thompson as an actress. 92% of the time.
Uh-oh.
And I enjoyed her here.
Okay. Whew.
I have some quibbles about the character and the story arc that we will get to. But in terms of her performance, I believed it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was in it.
Yeah.
The way this is a narrative about a chaotic individual.
Yes.
And we feel that in so many different ways. And Tessa's performance of the chaos.
She is the chaos agent of this film. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
She absolutely is, and it is quite a masterful performance in that way, because so she, from the beginning of this movie, from that very first scene, she is going.
Yeah.
She is pushing. She is driving. She is making pulling the strings and making the decisions that keep this narrative, this very chaotic narrative, going.
Yeah. And it requires her to make so many different character turns that I think Tessa handled very gracefully.
Yeah.
Like going in and out of moods and settings and people she was kind of like sparring with in different scenes. We saw kind of a different version of this Hedda Gabler character that I think she handled really well. Yeah. My performance highlight.
Okay.
Can't believe I'm highlighting a white woman.
Nina?
Yes.
She
Miss
ate
Mama's ate down. I was like,
she did.
She played Eileen Loveborg, which is Hedda Gabler's former lover, but also the rival of Hedda's new husband.
Yes.
And she's given, this is one of those things where the supporting character is given a lot to work with, and Miss Mama chewed down.
And this is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the updates in the story, right? The original, the character in the original is a man.
Is a man, yeah.
This, know, breathes a new life.
Yes. And it brings a cast of queer characters into the film, too, with this rewrite, which I thought was so good. But yeah, Nina, she showed up. Like that moment when she first comes in, She has a presence, and she has quite a few different scenes that she really delivers in, specifically when she has that turn after, to not give it away, after she's indulged and she becomes a different person.
Yes.
She handles that so masterfully.
Yeah.
And then also there's a scene when... I want to say she's going into like the boys' room or the library. And I mean, we as the audience know what's happening to her, but the way she's playing the scene, I was eating it up. Like I looked over to my friend, I was like, this is going to be a Best Supporting Actress nom. I see it coming. I'm calling it now. But yeah, she was good. I
will be disappointed if she is the only nomination from this movie.
Oh, she will. If she's the only nomination, I will be pissed. But if she's not nominated, I will also be pissed.
I will be okay if she's not nominated, with all due respect. But I do think that she is a standout performance, and what her character requires of her, she absolutely rises to the occasion. I can absolutely agree with that. One of my likes is, I feel like this is maybe the first movie where I can really see Nia's artistic sensibility.
You right about it.
As a director.
Yeah.
And part of that I'm imagining is the resources that she has on this film, that she just, I mean, she's had resources before, but like when you're working within a Marvel context, there are going to be certain restrictions and all of that. But this is something that she wrote, that she adapted, that she directed, that she wrote for Tessa Thompson. You know what I mean? Like she has a lot more hands and control over this project, and I feel like even the first time when I watched it and I didn't like it, I was like, oh, I want to see more of this creative vision. I want to see more of this artistic swing. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
This is an artistic swing that won't land with everyone. It won't.
Yeah.
You know? Not to mention the gay stuff of it all. You know? Yeah. But it is so good.
Yeah,
it is so good.
I left this film like knowing who Nia DaCosta was as a filmmaker. It was very much so like her imprint is on this in a way that I was like, okay, I've been following you, but now I know you.
Now I know.
Yes, and I want to see what else you can do in the space. And found out in her conversation that she actually wrote this when she was in college, and she adapted this, and she always knew then that she wanted to update it to be played by a biracial woman, and like she immediately took it to Tessa Thompson to play it, and so it was just like you can feel the intention in every choice that was made by her in this. And that leads into my next thing.
Okay.
As a director, one of the standouts to me were the picture choices, like how the scenes were painted.
Okay, yeah.
When Eileen's character enters the party, Nia DaCosta's character, and we see Hedda on that dolly shot, and she's like kind of like pulled into her in a way. I was like, this is like enticing. Like it almost felt vampirical, like how they attract something and it pulls you in. And like the way Nia shot that, I was like, I feel it. I feel the draw. I feel the pull. So I love that scene. And then something that I thought was really masterful too was that when we first meet Hedda, we see her come from behind like a partition as she enters the house, and she sits there for a moment with a silhouette. And then we meet that moment again later in the film with the character that has a twist that I don't want to give away because I want y'all to see this movie. And I was like, oh, this is a callback to what we saw earlier, and it's saying something here. So like, I loved kind of like how she framed a lot of these images.
An artist lives here.
Artist lives here.
An artist. That's that is the takeaway from this movie. Yeah. Whether you like it or not,
it's undeniable.
It is. It is one of those movies that I do feel like is undeniable. An artist lives here. Yeah. Put some respect on Nia DaCosta's name.
Yeah. And also, I don't know about you, but the fact that this was a bit of a whodunit movie at a dinner party, this is my type of carrying on. Like, I love movies like the first Knives Out specifically. Yes. Glass Onion was not really my flavor, but I love movies where we're kind of like figuring out what happened. Yeah. And like, that's kind of like the framing of this. Like, we open up with her talking to detectives and her explaining the story that we see play out. And it was very much so like, okay, what happened? Like, who did what? And then we see essentially what happens in the end. But I love that. And that's going to wrap up my likes for the movie, but I had to mention that.
No. I appreciated that element of the story. It gives the story a little bit of motion, some propulsion. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, well then let's switch tones.
Yes.
To some of our constructive.
You're going to have to drive this part of the conversation for me because this was a 5-star movie to me and I didn't have many dislikes. So
I don't mind.
Bring me in.
My first time watching this movie, I did not understand the breathing.
Okay.
There is this recurring motif where you hear, and in some ways you feel in the theatrical experience, Hedda's breathing.
And it's like a diegetic score moment.
Yeah. And it's something that come on, diegetic, look at you.
No, small things.
But it when I first watched the movie, it felt ancestral. It felt haunting. To me, it gave like this little haunting to your point before about vampiric, that vampiric element. It gave this haunting vibe to the movie to me that I felt what didn't make sense. Now, when I watched it a second time, I got it, right? The breathing in so many ways are the moments of contemplation. They are the moments in which she is deciding chaos or not.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so I felt it differently the second time.
Yeah.
And so I liked that. But overall, in terms of the story, I wanted a little bit more about her background. I felt like there, and I don't know, because we know that, you know, her father is dead. You know, I don't want to spoil an element, so I'll leave it at that. But like, you know, at some point, and maybe this is just my bias because I feel like Tessa, you know, has played a number of, you know, quote unquote tragic mulattoes on screen. I assumed this was also the case and that the father was white, but then I was told that the father's supposed to be black in this narrative. I don't know. There's like a race element that is present, but feels not fully baked.
Yeah, they give subtle clues into who she is as a character, which I kind of appreciated that subtlety in a way that I feel like you wanted to be more like, this is who she is. And
I don't need to this is who she is, but there were just certain things that happened in the narrative that felt a little bit out of place, or like that we as the audience never get context for her chaos. Or some of the chaos, and maybe that's fine, we don't need it. But that is something that I was like, ooh, certain things weren't, they weren't wrapped up.
Yeah.
Or they weren't, certain bits and pieces about how she finds herself in this moment, having been in love with this woman and now being in fake love, with this man, But so there's some of the story things that I've just felt like, But again, maybe, and I'm going to watch it again. And maybe some of those, because there are subtleties. You're absolutely right, and there's a lot of context that is shared in dialogue, right? Like talking about, her father, and those kinds of elements. And so if you're not paying attention, or I might have missed something.
I was so dialed in. And to your point about the sound, you bring this up. You make the point of coming to a movie, you bring your own things into the experience. And for me, how the sound initially landed on me was I read it as somebody who deals with being highly anxious a lot of times. I felt like the breaths were kind of representative of maybe a anxious moment or an anxious reaction, because I know personally when I'm having moments of high angst, I tend to take deep breaths that were very reminiscent of that. I'm very, and though they felt like very dramatic sighs, we just had to get that breath out to get through the moment. And that's how that read to me. But it also did have a haunted twang to it, because I feel like it was a bit of some effects happening to make the sound a bit eerie, to add to the feeling of that moment. So I feel that, and I also, to your point about the character themselves, I left that with an understanding that she was an illegitimate child from conversations that were had between Eileen's character,
illegitimate child of a white man. Okay.
Being the general, because there was something that happens where they say something about watching Hedda ride through the city with her father, and then somebody looking up. Yeah. It was something in there that made me feel like, oh, she's the product of a biracial thing that should not have been happening because it was the 50s.
Right.
And the subtle context of those, it's kind of my preferred flavor of letting us know that race is present, but it's not the center of the story.
Yeah.
That was kind of how those things landed for me.
But that's interesting to me that it is that in the 1950s, that race would not be a concern in this narrative where we hear commentary about the bohemian-ness of her quote-unquote real friends.
And I think it's because we were in her social space. I think within her social space, it may not be a thing, whereas it was very much so something that was present on the outside. So it was brought in as a conversation from the inside perspective, because Eileen's character comes in and she says, you married a white man, which is very poignant to say that you married a white man.
Yeah.
And then also there's a conversation between Hedda and Eileen where she asks her, where Eileen is challenging her, why don't you get in work in academics? And Hedda's how many women do you see in academia? And then of those women, how many of them are black? And it was just those little things. It was that is a natural conversation that would happen within your circle. So I was oh, race is present, but it's not something that is consequential within the social dynamic of your friends, but also it's we're not going to bypass it as if it's something that doesn't exist in the world that we're dealing with.
I think I hear that.
Yeah.
And also...
Yeah.
It just
fair.
But again, I just need a little bit more backstory, and then I also felt the chaos of it all felt I don't know. It was effective. It was effective, but I don't. It was effective.
It feels like the chaos to you was a bit off-putting. Like it wasn't a plus, it was more of a minus for you. Is that the right read?
Well, I wouldn't even say it's a minus. I feel like it's one of those things that, again, I have these thoughts about the story elements that to me perhaps would have filled out the reasons for the chaos.
Yeah.
I don't think I got this. So in one battle after another, they try so hard for Tiana Taylor's character to show us and to demonstrate to us that she's gonna put herself first, Lucius.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like here in Hedda, I was looking for the motivation behind the chaos.
I think my understanding or my read on her with the way she made decisions was that like it was a part of kind of like her DNA. Like she's an impulsive person who wants to be able to control things. And through that control and losing control, she uses chaos to like manipulate situations back into her favor.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like how I took that character profile for her.
Sure.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that, for me, that was something that worked. I was like, this is an effective.
I need to see it again.
Yeah.
I know I need to see it a third time because the fact that it grew on me the second time is a sign that like, I need to let me try one more time.
Yeah, fair.
But it is a provocative movie. It is an energetic movie. It is a propulsive movie. It is an artistic movie. It is a fresh movie, right? So like all of those are positives to me, So
speaking of fresh, I think we have dissected our feelings on this pretty thoroughly. Was there anything more to offer before we jump into what the people thought?
We got to do our seated, our streaming, or our skip.
Ahead of the card, yeah. All right.
So we know you are seated.
I mean, you got to ask me.
I don't know because we know you said 5-star experience, okay? But yes, okay. Are you seated, streaming it, or skipping it?
I say that Hedda is absolutely a mandatory seated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm gonna say seated.
I was about to say,
but I'm saying seated because, right, for us, seated is about, in particular, a movie, like a theater experience. Yeah. And I do think that this movie is one that hits different on the big screen.
Yes. Yeah.
It absolutely, particularly with the sound design, it absolutely hits different. Now, I do think it makes sense to me why Amazon decided to put it on streaming so quickly, because it's available for the streaming right now. But if you can find your way into a theater, so I guess we are speaking to people in LA and New York right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. I do feel like that's the movie experience changes this way.
Yeah, Amazon is really tapping on my last nerve because this is the second Black woman-led film that's going to streaming and hasn't received a wide theatrical release that deserves one.
G20?
With the first being G20. G20 needed to be in the theater.
It did.
Viola Davis is president.
It did.
Man.
It did. I did see it in the theater, but it was good.
With me.
It was
they playing with me. But yes.
Good.
All right, so let's get into what the people say.
Yes.
And let us know what Rotten Tomatoes is giving right now with our critics.
Okay, so with the critics, the tomato meter at the Rotten Tomatoes is 91%.
My God, today. That's
I'm surprised.
Damn.
I'm surprised.
That's good. All right.
I'm surprised. Because white people, white men, critics in particular, who represent the majority, are dense.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Many of them. And so that's surprising to me, but I love that for Nia.
Yes, me too. I'm like,
and Tessa, for that matter.
To get this many critics on board to big up your film like this, I'm with it. So I know that like it's release day for this film, so we don't have the Rotten Tomatoes audience score
okay.
yet.
That's why it's not here.
Yeah, so I dipped over into the IMDb side because we love tipping over there, and IMDb's score is not as favorable.
It never is. What is it?
They're currently at a 5.8 out of 10.
I hate to be disrespectful, but the people. I feel like the audience of Rotten Tomatoes is different than an audience for IMDb.
And so knowing that, I also went over to Letterboxd to see what those people got to say.
Okay, they didn't feel it either, did they?
They gave my girl a 3.4 out of 5 stars.
Well,
all right.
Well, but here's the thing. Again, I do think this is a big swing of a movie.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to see that the tomato meter, it does feel like a movie that the critics will appreciate and like more.
Yeah.
And that cinephiles, will like. But
Yeah.
John Q. Public, there's a reason it's on the streaming already. Respectfully.
Yes, yeah,
Respectfully to the art. Because it is beautiful.
Well, let's get these numbers up and y'all go out and see it and let us know what you thought, because I'm really excited to hear more people like us tell their thoughts on this film. But before we get up out of here on this point, tell me what the Black critics are saying.
Yes. Okay. So we've got Lyvie Scott. Okay. They are writing for Inverse.com. They say, quote, Thompson and DaCosta ratchet up the tension of a story that already feels like a pressure cooker, turning Hedda the film into a diabolical psychological thriller and launching Hedda the character into the pantheon of the monstrous feminine. Now that I can work with.
Yes, you said some things. Yes.
You ate that.
I think it's Lyvie Scott.
Lyvie,
yeah.
okay,
yeah,
all right, Lyvie.
Yeah, shout out to her. I feel the same way.
You ate that.
Yes.
You ate that. I can rubber stamp. I can rubber stamp that. Shout out to you.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for our review on Hedda.
Yes.
People, let us know what y'all think. Give us some star ratings, or let us know what you think of the film in the comments below.
Do you wish? I mean, we have to ask it differently. Do you wish you got to see this movie in a theater?
Yes, that would be good to know too.
Were you just happy viewing it on the Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Put your answer in the comments, please. And thank you.
And after the jump, we're gonna come back with Black Cinema Games.
Period.
Back again, and now it's time for my favorite segment this week and every week, Black Cinema Games.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes, we got fire this time. All right, so are you ready for this week's game? You can probably guess what we're doing this week.
The sound game.
We're not, actually, because we have a black lead. And with that comes
credit
the
crawl. Credit crawl.
And so we're crawling over into Miss Tessa Thompson's catalog.
Okay.
And sis has quite a resume. She's been working.
She do. Okay, I should be, okay.
I think you should get these.
I
think you should get these.
Okay.
I tried to keep it a little mysterious for you, but yeah.
No, not too mysterious.
So we're going to give you clues, 3 clues for each film, and you're guessing the film from the clues.
Yes.
And I'm also going to give you what was it? IMDb's known for.
Okay, yes.
So you'll be able to get extra points at the end. So,
okay.
Starting with your first clue.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give you a light, soft start.
Yes, please.
I think this is also a film that I think you may have loved. If I'm not
That's
mistaken.
crazy. He's throwing a shot, y'all. I don't even know what the movie is.
Oh, I like it too.
And
so
I
it's
know
no
he's
shade.
trying to play me.
All right. So we're guessing the movie from the clues.
Let's do it.
And it is, first clue. The plot is set against the backdrop of the Civil Rights era, with the protagonist's career shift being subtly influenced by the changing cultural landscape of the early 1960s.
Okay.
Second clue. This movie is famously shot entirely in black and white, except for the opening scene, and is set primarily in the 1950s, early 1960s New York City, Harlem.
Okay. I believe I know what this is, but keep going.
The central plot revolves around the main character who works at a record shop and her relationship with a talented saxophonist.
Oh, plot twist. I got it, though.
Okay,
I got it, though.
So throw it out.
This is Sylvie's Love.
Yes, it is Sylvie's Love. That's why I tapped this one, of course. What were you thinking before?
I was thinking, passing
not
is what
that
I
one.
was thinking because you said black and
and
white.
white, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but
That was really
I
great,
actually forgot
yeah.
about Sylvie's Love until you said saxophone. I said, oh yeah,
Yeah, I really enjoyed Sylvie.
It was Tessa Thompson and Namdi Asamoah.
Yes, Kerry Washington's husband.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. All right, so you got a point on the board. Fun fact, my Roomba vacuum is named Sylvie. You know you can name the things I named it Sylvie.
After the movie?
Yes, because I got the vacuum the same Christmas that I watched the movie, and I was like, oh, it's real sweet. Okay. Are you ready for movie number 2?
Yes, I am free. Let's
We're playing
do it.
Credit Crawl, and we're guessing the movie from 3 clues.
Yes.
The first clue. Much of the on-location filming and establishing shots were done in Southern California, utilizing Pasadena and other nearby historic neighborhoods for the turn-of-the-century aesthetic.
Okay.
Clue number 2. Despite being set in turn-of-the-century New Orleans, the movie was almost entirely filmed on location in Savannah, Georgia, utilizing the city's historic squares.
Okay. That's number 2. Okay.
Clue number 3. The producer explicitly stated that the production aimed for a wonderfully diverse cast and chose not to be strictly limited by period accuracy when casting the human roles. That one put a bunch in your panties, huh?
It did.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Can you? Oh. That okay.
I'm gonna put you on a timer now. Give you
Yeah,
5.
you might have to with this one. For whatever reason, you know what? I know I have this wrong for the record. I initially went to Eve's Bayou, but I know she's not even
Tessa
in that
ain't
movie.
that old.
She's not even in that movie.
Yeah.
She's not even in that movie. And then I went to it's gone now. Then I went to Mississippi Damned, but that's not that movie. I'm wrong. What is the answer?
The answer is Lady and the Tramp, the animated film.
This is disrespectful.
You know, I always throw an animated movie in the mix.
You do. This is disrespectful. Also, did not know she play the tramp.
She plays Lady. She plays
Lady.
Lady.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, the lady is the lady.
Damn.
I ain't seen that.
Damn,
I don't
okay.
think I seen that.
I told you Tessa been working, child.
She do be. I know she be working.
Yeah.
I know she be working. Okay, shout
We
out
got
to the
1 out of
animated.
3 right now.
Okay, dang.
You ready for your next or your last film?
The last
technically.
one. Okay, yes.
All right, so we're playing Credit Crawl and we're guessing the movie from clues. This movie, you should get this instantly. If you don't get the Tre'vell, I'm gonna smack you.
Oh wow, well not too much. Hold on.
The feature film was created 7 years before the popular Netflix television series adaptation began.
Got it. Keep
Much
going.
of the main character's activism stems from his tenure as editor-in-chief of the campus's satirical and often incendiary student publication. The fictional Ivy League school is named Winchester University, and the film heavily features its provost as an antagonist authority figure.
Yes.
All right. Seems like I got it, so let us know what it is.
Yes, this is Justin Simeon's Dear White
Yes,
People.
ma'am.
Absolutely.
Of course I had to
Tessa
throw
was
her in
great
there.
in that.
Was.
That was thank you for that first clue. I got it on the first clue for the record. So shout out to me.
Yes.
I love that movie, and I really enjoy that movie, and I actually do love the series. I do love the series. I know y'all feel away, but you'll be fine.
I enjoyed the series until that last season, but you know.
The musical of it all.
Yeah, as someone who loves musicals, I was like, why are we doing this?
Well, because when they're pulling the plug, why not?
Baby, sure. Anyway.
Why not?
It's time for your bonus round. So,
bonus?
as we know, IMDB has those 4 movies on every actor's profile.
You did say this, yes.
That tells them or identifies their most known 4 films. And
Yes.
so with each of these, if you guess one, you get half a point.
Wow.
So, what are your guesses for Tessa Thompson's 4 known 4 films?
Tessa Thompson's 4 known 4 films.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is a tricky one because you know how they play with Keke Palmer's.
Yes, and also Tessa, you know,
She's been in some everything.
She been in a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something animated that I have not seen in that top 4 that she voices. My other submissions will be, let me try something.
Yes.
Let me try something. Mississippi Damned.
No. That's one guess.
Let me try something else then. Now I'm like, what has she been in? I'm gonna put Passing.
Yes, Passing is one of them. Yes,
Passing. With Ruth Negga.
Yes. What you call me?
You heard it. But okay.
Got 2 more guesses.
I'm gonna try y'all for Color Girls.
No.
Oh.
That would have been a good one, but no.
Oh.
No. So one more guess. You have half an extra point.
Would Tessa Thompson be in?
She been in a lot.
She be acting. I can't even remember any. I don't have no option in my head.
You're gonna kick yourself in the butt for this.
Of course I am. Same the way I did Keke Palmer. Okay. Tessa Thompson. It's something yeah, I don't have it.
So you got one of them.
Yes.
The first one was Passing.
Okay.
The other is Creed.
Duh.
Yes.
I knew there was something big.
It was like
that I was
3
missing.
film. It was yeah.
Yes.
The other she played this reprised this character in the Marvels that we talked about, Thor Ragnarok, where she played Valkyrie.
Oh, Valkyrie.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the last
What
one,
was the last one?
I haven't seen this one. I'm actually not familiar at all with this, but it's Annihilation from 2018.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I think that's one of them dystopian Hunger Games kind of movies.
But yeah. All right. So you got 3.5 points.
I don't think it was 3.5.
2.5.
I only got 2.
Yeah. So 2.5 points.
I think. I don't know. He will do the scorekeeping in post.
We should probably keep track of this.
We'll do it. He'll do it. It'll be on the screen. The problem, I didn't get them all. Okay, I know that.
Well, y'all let us know how you did in the comments below, wherever you're tapping in. If it's YouTube, if it's over on Spotify, if it's a review, give us a 5-star rating.
Yes.
And
let us know your favorite Tessa Thompson movie.
Yes.
Because I'm intrigued because she's been in so much.
She's been in so much. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get into our Good Vibes Only segment. These are our recommendations that we give you every single week to keep your vibes going good.
I can start us off.
Yes, please.
All right. So as I mentioned earlier, the conversation with Nia DaCosta at the screening was really good.
Yes.
But my recommendation this week is actually going to be NPR's Fresh Air episode with Nia DaCosta in conversation with Tanya Mosley, who's a wonderful interviewer. It was such a great conversation that really got into the meat of Nia DaCosta's career and just like what her space was when she created this film, how she's navigating the white spaces in Hollywood and breaking barriers as a Black woman director. And I highly recommend y'all go tap into this conversation. It's available everywhere in any app you're listening to. Are they on YouTube? I don't know, but I'll leave a link in the comments. So yeah. Check it
Okay.
out.
Shout out to Fresh Air.
Yes.
Okay. My recommendation this week, I was inspired by there's a rousing scene in Hedda at the party that with the music going and everything's really great. And so I was inspired by what I thought was a similar time period on screen. And so my recommendation is episode 5 of Lovecraft Country.
Oh, I love that series so much.
Okay, this is the episode titled Strange Case. It's directed by the legend Cheryl Dunye.
Oh, Watermelon Woman.
Yes. It's directed
I didn't know
by
she
her.
directed that one.
And it's the episode in which Montrose, Michael K. Williams, is that his name?
Yes,
Michael,
R.I.P.
Yes, his character, goes out with the girls.
Yes.
With
Oh,
the,
yes, I do remember that
And they're like
episode.
out and about. And it's like one of those like beautiful examples of like Black queerness in a kind of time period that we don't often see ourselves in, which we didn't say this about Hedda, but does, inject some, energy in that kind of direction, in terms of like, because we were there too. We always are. And so that's my recommendation.
Both we's, the Blackness and the queerness.
Well, yes, actually. And so that's my recommendation.
Yes.
I want to shout out to Lovecraft Country overall.
These are some good recommendations
but
this week.
yeah, you better be big up in your own recommendation.
Of course.
I know that's right. All right, y'all. Well, that will do it for us for this week. So guess what? We're going to ask you every single time, at every episode, okay? Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you put your folks on.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, for all of the fun that we are having here.
Yes.
Okay, and as Ray loves to say every time we go to the break, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't apply here. I'm going to say grab a snack and come on back.
They can keep
next
coming back,
week.
yes.
Or hit another
Holla.
video. Well,
I just felt Beyonce, I don't know why.
Oh.
You know, she used to always end her concerts with the Hove and Holla. Remember
Sure.
that? Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Beyonce concerts lately.
Okay.
All right.
Somebody has a craving. Yes, we'll see y'all next week.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and tap that subscribe button. And if you're listening, give us a 5-star rating, because we are a 5-star show. We are a 5-star show. And review us in your podcast app or wherever you're tapping in today. It'll really help folks find us as we grow. Seated is an independently funded production, and your support can help us go further. Consider becoming a card-carrying member of the Seated Movie Club at seatedshow.com/join, where we'll be bringing you more of this popcorn-worthy content, special events, and more. And how do we do all that we do? Well, you know it's not by ourselves. Our theme music was created by Buckrow and animation by Jung Adi, with creative consulting by Jade Fox and publicity support by House of Heralds. This week's episode was edited by me, Ray Love Jr. Seated is a co-production of Slay Jean and 5011 Media. It's hosted and produced by Tre'vell Anderson and Ray Love Jr. and filmed on location at the Walgood Yard. See you at the movies. Holla!
Let's jump in. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. So in an interview, it's funny because we also know each other, so I'm pretending like I don't know her, but I do. In an interview, and also in life, you had said that you'd seen a production of the play and also read it. I'm curious if you could tell us a little bit about like what the seed was for throwing your hat in the ring. What made you want to adapt this piece?
Yeah, I mean, a big part of it. Walkies, guys.
What do you mean?
Open walkie. A big part of it was, I mean, I think it was the time I was in my life. I was at drama school, getting a master's in writing. And I was at drama school because I wanted to work with actors and I wanted to learn about theater. And part of my theater education was Henrik Ibsen. And I read Hedda Gabler, and I was sort of blown away by the fact that a Norwegian man in 1890 decided to write this woman and confront his audience with this woman. And when it came out, I think it was, I'd say, mixed reviews. It was, people were pissed.
Shocked to hear that.
People were pissed. They were like, how dare you? Like, well, who is she? What's her deal? But she's lasted, she's stood the test of time. People are always interrogating her and therefore interrogating themselves. And that's what I think I was doing too. Thinking about my shadow self, thinking about my perception of freedom and agency and cowardice and bravery. And it just stuck with me. And I think that's why I was like, I think I have a point of view here.
So when did you start working on it? Because I know you wrote the script in 2018. Mm-hmm. So what's the gap between having studied it and then deciding to finally put pen to paper?
So I read it in 2012, and then sort of all the bigger changes from the play that I did, I did just in ruminating and thinking and being whatever when I was 22, which was changing Eilert to Eileen, which was moving it to the 50s, having it all take place at a party. And then I just didn't really do anything with it. I did my first film. I did Top Boy. Actually, no, I didn't do Top Boy yet. I did my first film, and the spring before I directed Top Boy, I wrote the first draft.
And when you worked on your first film, you worked on it with Tessa, who is obviously in this. So when do you start thinking of Tessa in that part? Because when you wrote that first draft, did you imagine her playing that part?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think as soon as I met Tessa in 2015, and I started something which I have not stopped doing, which is pitching her every movie I've ever come up with. When she's going to be in, when she's not going to be in. And this one in particular, I knew it's going to be Tessa. Hedda's going to be black, and she's going to be played by Tessa Thompson. And that's going to color, no pun intended, the rest of the film and how that progresses. So yeah, but also, I wrote it and I said, hey, Tessa, I'm writing this thing. you should do it. I mean, do you want to do it? And she's like, I'll read that when you're done.
So it wasn't an immediate yes.
You know, in my head it always is. But
so I guess like once you've initially pitched it to her, before you shared it with her, does anything about the first time you guys worked together change your approach to that, or how you want to bring her into the process of crafting that character?
Yeah, so I really wanted to be quiet, closed about the character initially. Like I didn't want her input on script. I didn't want input from anyone really. I wanted it to be like really pure and mine. And but of course, like we all do, I have my friends I have read my script so I can get their notes, or so they can tell me, you did it, kid, or go back to the drawing board, girl, because that's not good, you know. So I have those people in my life, but my plan essentially was I sent it to her to read, just so you know this is what it is. And then I think sometime in the midst of doing my third film, I sent it to my agents and I said, this is the movie, this is the script. I want to send it out. This is the amount of money I want. And I don't want to be in development for 2 years. Like, this is the movie. If they want to do it, great. If not, then let's move on. And that was how I got involved with Plan B and Orion.
And at this point, is this post Candyman, post Marvels? Like, where are we in the timeline?
So sending it out was like in the midst of post on Marvels. Yeah, it was like the time when I was like...
And post is years, right?
Well, it wasn't initially. I signed on for a job that was going to be 22 months long. It was 3.5 years. So...
More than 22 months.
Many, many more months than the 22. So, you know, we have to start looking to the future, you know? And so in the midst of post somewhere, that was when I was like, okay, let's set this up.